Hi everyone! I hope that this video finds you all doing as well as possible given the circumstances. So what I'd like this video to do is to walk you through using procon.org as it may be new to you, and then just to go through the specifics of the assignment sheet. So this week you'll be writing about an issue, and you can choose any issue you'd like that's found on this specific website. And what I'd like you to do is examine both sides of the issue and then offer your own opinion. So before we go any further, let's take a look at the website itself. So this is procon.org, note .org, not .com. And what this website does is its whole kind of purpose is that it gives both sides of any controversial issue. So the intention is that it's nonpartisan, it's reliable, it's just a good place to go to get information. As you see, they have tons and tons and tons of options for you, right? And this is just some of them. You can look at them alphabetically. So let's say I decided I want to write about school uniforms. So as that loads, let's click back here. There we go. So what I'd like you to do is you're going to do your research using Procon, which asks the question, should students have to wear school uniforms? So up top, it gives you a very quick background on the subject, and then we get into the arguments. So one pro is student uniforms may deter crime, but one con is they restrict students' freedom of expression. Generally, each of these I think has at least 5 pros and cons. So I'm going to go through, I'd read all the pros and cons, see kind of what I think, where I come down on it. And what I also want to do is pick one pro and one con to report on, basically. So to make it easy, I'm going to work with these first ones. So go like this. I've outlined the paper for you. So you'll have an introduction paragraph, which is where you're going to introduce your chosen topic and give that brief background. So that background information you'll find right here. Then, in your next paragraph, you're going to explain one of the pros. Focus on explaining rather than offering your own opinion here. The second body paragraph will explain one of the cons, and similarly, we're focusing on explaining, not offering our own opinion, and then you'll finish with a conclusion. Now, in the conclusion paragraph, you will offer your own opinion and explain why you have that opinion. So I would have this as my background information, I'm using this as my pro, this is my con, and then ultimately my conclusion I would say, while there's good reasons on both sides, I ultimately think that school uniforms are great or are bad, whichever you choose. The other element of this is in our chapter this week, we've learned about the difference between quotation and paraphrase. I think you've probably seen those before in other classes and in high school. So you must include at least one quotation and one paraphrase in this document, and be sure to cite them correctly using MLA citation style. Right? So since you're using MLA citation style, which we also learned about this week, you know that you need that works cited page. In this case, you're only going to have one entry. It's just whatever article you're using from procon.org. So it's fairly simple. We're just getting comfortable using MLA. So the requirements, you need to use at least one quotation. That's where you're directly pulling the language from procon.org. At least one paraphrase where you kind of quickly explain in some detail a point raised by procon.org. So this is their idea, but in your words, and that still needs to be cited. You need to use MLA 8 citation style, so you're going to include a works cited page. Be sure to follow this outline, right? Break it down just like this. Needs to be about, or at least rather, 350 words, coming in about a page and a half, maybe a page and a quarter. And like normal, it's due on Sunday. And this paper is worth 150 points. So here we can take a look at the rubric. It's fairly small on here. You'll see quotation that it's cited correctly for full points, paraphrase and that it's cited correctly for full points, grammar and typos, formatting and word count, your works cited page, and then that you followed each step of the outline. This will probably take a little more time than some of our other papers just because you do need to do that research element. However, I think that you'll find that this website is really easy to use. It's laid out, I think, very neatly, and there should be some issue on here that catches your eye. As always, if you have any questions, send me an email or drop it on my Zoom office hours, and I'm happy to help you out. As you first learn about MLA8, it can be kind of confusing because it's so finicky. That's totally normal, and I'm more than happy to help. So just let me know. Have a good week.